The Russian invasion is not going well for Putin. He thought he could storm Kiev in a couple of days, topple the government and declare victory. The Russian army tried to copy what the US did in Iraq. Don't engage the opposing military head-on, control the intersections between the cities, send a special unit to assassinate the leaders, and have a low-cost, swift victory. They did the same thing in Crimea in 2014, but this time they failed miserably. Main reasons for this are the unexpected Ukrainian resistance, logistical problems, and not using the military's full power. Their convoys ran out of food and gas. The captured Russian soldiers said they thought they would be welcomed as liberators, so they didn't bother to take food and oil with them. The Russian army is not infantry-based. They use heavy artillery and overwhelm the opposition with air support. Because their mission was to remove Zelensky and install a puppet regime, Russia didn't want to raise the cities to the ground at first. That would have made their jobs a lot harder in the long run. At least that's what they thought. For the first time, the Russian army tried not to cause too much damage. But the more they fight, the more the sanctions are hurting their economy. And Putin's losing patience, so they might change their strategy. In recent days, they showed signs of doing just that. The Ukrainian army has also exceeded expectations. They are fighting in a smart way, not engaging in open space, giving up territory but positioning themselves in cities, while attacking Russian convoys in small groups. From the ground, they use US and Europe-supplied anti-tank javelins, and complemented with Turkish drones from above. The Russian army particularly prefers railroads. They don't have many fuel trucks. For comparison, the US has 100,000 of those, while Russia only got 4,000. So the Ukrainians blew up the railroads from and to Russia, forcing them to switch from the railroads to motorways. Targeting the fuel trucks made the Russian convoy impossible to march forward. And when the Ukrainians hit a truck, not only the convoy stops, but also the road is damaged, making it even harder for Russians to advance. Also, the corruption in the Russian army is evident by the footage of the old and ill-maintained vehicles. Hundreds of them are broken down and abandoned by the soldiers. Another aspect is air superiority. In modern warfare, air superiority is very important. Even though Russia has a top air force, they couldn't establish the control of the skies yet. They have 10 times more fighters than Ukraine, but for some reason they are not using them. Zelensky knows the importance of air control. That's why he's asking for fighter jets from the West, also demanding no-fly zones. But no-fly zones basically means World War III. So it's unlikely that that's gonna happen. Russia couldn't advance as fast as they wanted, but make no mistake, they eventually will. Losing thousands of soldiers and hundreds of vehicles means nothing, because they still have 90% of their military unused. The amount of soldiers in Ukrainian soil doubled since the invasion began. They're slowly gaining air superiority and still outmatch the Ukrainian army vastly. So Russia will probably get what they want on the field. But at what cost? The sanctions already crippled their economy, and Ukraine is uniting as a nation after the invasion. So it's highly unlikely that they're just gonna accept a puppet regime. It'll cost Russia a fortune to keep the puppet government in power, and Russia doesn't seem to have that economic strength anymore. See you on the next one.